I got my Atari paddle controller back because Atari 2600 Paddle Games Month is going to continue with Street Racer for the 2600. Let's go ahead and take Street Racer. Let's pop it in my 7800 Pro system and see how it holds up today. Let's go to the game. Street Racer was published by Atari and was one of the system launch titles from 1977. It was also released under the Sears Telegames label as Speedway 2. According to MobyGames.com, it was programmed by Larry Kaplan, who would later leave Atari to become a co-founder of Activision. Neither the box nor the manual have a backstory, so let's get right to the game itself. Street Racer is a racing and more paddle game collection for 1 to 4 players. In each game you have 2 minutes and 16 seconds to get as many points as possible, with anyone getting 99 points before the timer runs out automatically winning. When the difficulty switch is in the A position, you lose a point for each collision. For the controls, you use the paddle to steer and the button to either accelerate or fire. In 2-player games, each player gets their own side. If a 3rd or 4th player joined the action, they will have to share a side and work with the other player as a team. In 1-player games, the computer will be on the left-hand side, and he won't steer, but he can still rack up points from dumb luck. The first 6 game variations are Street Racer. Here you get points for passing cars. This can be played with up to 4 players. In the more difficult variations, cars can appear more often. Games 7 through 12 are slaloms for 1 to 4 players. Now you're on skis, passing through gates for points. When the difficulty switches in the A position, you not only lose a point per collision, but the gates are smaller. Gates can also appear more frequently in the more difficult variations. Not to be confused with the Atari game cartridge with the same name, games 13 through 16 are dodgems for 1 to 2 players only. Here you avoid obstacles which can appear more often in games 15 and 16. Jet Shooter has you firing at oncoming enemy aircraft in a 1 to 2 player game in games 17 through 20. Games 19 through 20 have enemy fighters appearing more often. Games 21 through 24 are called number crunchers and can be played with up to 4 players. Here you run over numbers while riding what's supposed to be motorcycles to add them as points to your score, but if you aren't lined up right, you can crash into them. Games 25 through 27 are scoop ball and can only be played with 2 to 4 players. Here you scoop up balls and then deposit them into computer scoopers for points. As you'd probably expect from a 2600 launch title, the graphics are blocky and the sounds are basic. Family friendly wise, the game would most likely get an E for everyone rating if released today. Currently at PriceCharting.com, the game has a value of $4 loose, $10 complete, and $34 new. So what did I think of Street Racer on the Atari 2600? Honestly, I was pleasantly surprised. I figured this would be too basic and too focused on the multiplayer aspect for it to be much fun as a single-player game, but I'm happy to be wrong. I enjoy the variety of the variations, with Jet Shooter and Number Crunchers being my favorites, and even though the computer opponent doesn't usually present much of a challenge, I enjoy trying to reach 99 points before the timer expired. And I could see how this would be a fun multiplayer game as well. So while I wish the computer opponent had some AI, and also that number cruncher, while fun, was a little bit harder, I could still easily recommend this game for even the single player experience, which is how I rank games. So where am I going to rank Street Racer? This one's going near the 100 position among some other enjoyable games. I do like Gyrus more at 103, but I will put this over Submarine Commander at 104. So out of the 237 games that now ranked for the Atari 2600, Street Racer is crunching numbers at the 104 position. Street Racer may have basic graphics and sound, but it's still pretty fun. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Also, please like, share, and subscribe. Follow me both on the Facebook and the Twitter, and click the bell so you don't miss any future videos. At this time, I'd like to thank Jazzy Spinal Fusion for nominating today's game and supporting the show on Patreon. If you would like to sign up to support the show and gain access to exclusive perks, please go to patreon.com/NoSwearGamer. Thank you for giving me a little part of your day, and I look forward to see you next time on the next episode of the No Swear Gamer. Take care, especially when running over numbers with your motorcycle.